Mercy Hospital, Baltimore, Maryland, the 1st of July. All right, here we go. Confession and communion as the Holy of Holies, a missing thing. All right, now, in my life, I was given a tour of the church mess in America that I used to hate. And God brought me to the Bracken's living room and then threw me into Mission Teens. And I was having better church with the outlaws and the drug addicts than I was in all those church places. And it was because they were desperate people. When someone is desperate and they don't want to overdose and they don't want to get locked up again and they don't want their family to be disappointed with them and afraid and hate them anymore, they get so desperate that they might actually try the commands of Jesus. They might actually follow the things instead of just like looking at them for entertainment and coming around for worship and not really dealing with the family and the issues. Okay, so I'm in this atmosphere of the rehab centers and people that are amazing that get filled with heaven and get refreshed, they end up dying a couple years later because they've reformed their families and they started businesses and they've done really well and they've got kids, but they feel a little depressed and they text somebody and somebody drops off a bag and they take a hit like they did 2 years ago and they're dead in the bed next to their 4-month-old baby. So I got angry at God. I started rattling the gates of heaven. I'm like, you show me how to stop that. That is what I'm the most concerned about. These people, I want to protect them. I want to help. What is going on here? And what Father showed me was my son instituted honesty before prayer and honesty before the communion meal that nobody gets to see except for baptized Christians. Man, that blew me away. Studying the early Christian writings, studying this stuff, whoa. Confession and communion is the holy of holies of the temple of the church. If you do not have a small group of people, men and women, elders and youngers, all together, that have a time of honesty and prayer and celebration, happiness, we get to throw down. I get to tell everybody how I disappointed myself this week so they can stay in prayer for me because of my, the place where I didn't do so good. Whoa. Confession and communion is the holy of holies of the church. If you do not have an atmosphere where you can be honest with a group of people in a family setting about all of the ordinary things, yes, even the arousal things, the things that are going on with your mind, especially involving lust or desire for people. Dosha Karavako. This is the atmosphere that actually causes the church to become a unified body. Not merely the miracle signs and wonders, not merely the good teaching, not merely the worshiping, which is you towards God, but rather, as it says in the 12th step, you admitted to God and other person the true nature, the detail about your error or difficulty. Confession and communion is the holy of holies of the church, and that is missing. That was never in any of the churches that I was in for 60 years now. Not in a regular, absolutely, talked about and promoted as the most important thing that we do. Is not study, is not kick out demons, is not get scholarly about all kinds of things. The most important thing that we do is we admit faults to one another, and the others are listening for discernment from God and from the Holy Spirit for us in these times of confession and communion. This is a serious big deal. If this is missing, forget it. It's like you can't maintain your relationship with God and even your family. I can't. I just, when I get to this topic, it just blows my mind, because this is a scenario that can save the drug addict and save the person who has obsessions and tragedies and depressions and things going on with them. Confession and communion is the Holy of Holies of the church as instituted by Jesus.